Yes, welcome back to the show, everybody. Mets against Atlanta tonight. Mets magic number is 2. They play Atlanta 3 games, weather permitting. This is a really big game because it looks like right now, weather is always subject to change. It looks like tomorrow's game and Thursday's game is going to be washed out because of the hurricane. And that causes a lot of problems, poses a lot of problems for Major League Baseball and for both of these teams. And in all likelihood, from what I've heard, there will be a doubleheader on Monday. And if both games are needed after the first game is decided, then the second game would be postponed, which would allow either the Mets or the Braves, could be both, to head to their wild card games would start on Tuesday. Now, Anthony DiComo giving this information about Francisco Lindor. He said this is the good news. He received a bone scan yesterday that confirmed no structural damage. He says he could even pinch hit as soon as today. Now, DiComo goes on to say the bad news, that's no guarantee. He's still feeling discomfort and was wearing a heavy heat wrap around his back today. Remember, everybody, he said he'd be back in 2 to 5 days. This is the 8th day.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look great, and the Mets have persevered. Actually, they thrived because Acuna's been so great, and Iglesias has been unbelievable all year. So they filled those holes. But at some point, you're going to miss Francisco Lindor.
You're here because of him. So, you want him back. Acuna's been great. Iglesias has been great at second base. They've worked well together. But you're going to want Lindor back. But you're also going to want him back as close to healthy as possible. You don't want to have a setback, and then you make the playoffs, and you don't have him. So not in the lineup tonight. We'll see if he can pinch hit. They had said the same thing about the possibility of him being available at the end of the Philly series, and there were occasions in which they could have used him and didn't. So I think they're going to err on the side of not using him, Michael, until I think he's probably ready to play. And maybe that'll be in Milwaukee. Maybe that'll be tomorrow if there's a game. But it doesn't look like there'll be a game on Wednesday and Thursday and not playing today. So hopefully we'll be ready for Friday in Milwaukee against the Brewers. And with the Diamondbacks lost last night. So there's a possibility that game may be meaningful for the Braves. But as far as the Mets getting in, take care of business tonight. You moved up Severino. He's going to go. You win, reduce the magic number to 2. And at least from your end of it, Michael, then go out there, win a couple of games against Milwaukee. And at least if you have to play on Monday, it's not going to matter. You're already in. Let the Braves have to worry about it. Lose tonight, and the magic number stays 4, and now it gets down to just a 1-game lead, then maybe you're the one hoping to have those games be played on Monday, and that's what you're trying to avoid. So see if they can take care of business. Milwaukee's probably going to need those games, maybe, but it's right now 4 in the loss column with the Dodgers, 3 in the loss column with the Phillies.
And the Dodgers are now playing 3 games with the Padres.
So I don't. There's a very good chance that the Brewers are going to be locked in to the third division winner, which means they're going to be locked into playing the wild card. So there's a good chance, Michael, that all, if not at least 2 of those games against the Brewers won't mean anything for Milwaukee, which bodes well for the Mets.
Now, SNY tweeted out that Luis Angel Acuna says that his brother Ronald will post him on Instagram and say, "Welcome to Atlanta," if the Mets lose the series to the Braves. And Luis Angel said he told him, "We're not going to lose." So Mets feeling good about things, and they should the way they're playing. Why not? So here are the clinching situations tonight. The Astros can clinch the AL West today with a win against Seattle. Seattle beat them last night. Yankees can clinch the AL East, a first-round bye and home field advantage in the ALDS today with a win against Baltimore. And the Orioles can clinch a postseason berth today with a win at New York and a loss by either Kansas City at Washington or Minnesota at Miami. The Guardians can clinch a first-round bye, home field advantage in the ALDS today with a win versus Cincinnati or a loss by Houston and Seattle. Padres can clinch a berth today with a win against the Dodgers or a win by Arizona against San Francisco and a win by the Mets at Atlanta. And finally, the Phillies can clinch a first-round bye and home field advantage in the NLDS today with a win against the Cubs and a loss by Milwaukee at Pittsburgh. So a lot going on.
Yeah, and it's all good for baseball. It just stinks that those 2 Met games probably won't get played against the Braves. But at least for this weekend, you're going to have the National League wild card up for grabs. The American League wild card is still going to have meaning. So you're going to have some fun games, down the stretch. And I was talking about it off the air, Michael. I don't know. I don't know how you felt about it. Remember about like 10 years ago, baseball toyed with the idea and had it one year where the season ended on a Wednesday.
Right.
And you had all those games.
Yeah.
I thought it was a lot of fun. Now, the negative is now you're starting your playoffs going up against football on the weekend. But I kind of liked it to have that isolated moment with a bunch of series that are meaningful, not having to go up against football, standalone.
But you could say the same thing about the wild card. So the wild card round is all baseball, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I guess Thursday could go up against football. It would go against football. It's funny, though, the wild card has not gone 3. They just don't go 3 very often. It's always a sweep.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
But I just think I just had a lot of fun with that, with going back and forth with all the games that had so much meaning. But you don't know that's always going to be the case, and you don't want your playoffs, I guess, to at least begin going right up against a football weekend. But it was kind of cool to have that Wednesday where eyeballs were on 4 or 5 different games because teams were fighting to get in.
It's time now for the Pinstripe Report, brought to you by Samwell Institute for Pain Management. So if the Yankees win today, they clinch the AL East. It would be their 21st American League East title. Don and Peter, I ask you a question.
Yes.
The division system began in 1969. What team has actually had more division titles than the Yankees 21 if they win tonight?
What team has more division titles? Mm-hmm. Dodgers.
Well,
Dodgers right now have 21. If they clinch theirs, it would be 22. But right now, they're one. So you're right, technically. There's 2 teams out of them.
Well, the Braves did win 14 consecutive divisions.
But was it enough, given the rest of the history?
I'm gonna. It's between the Braves and the Cardinals, but I'm gonna go with the Braves.
You're so bright. The Braves, 23. Now, it would be the Yankees, because there were a lot of baseball before there were divisions. It would be their 50th first-place finish. Now, it all turned around since July 8th. On July 8th, the Orioles were 57-33. The Yankees were 55-37, 3 games back of the O's. Since July 9th, the Yankees have gone 37-27. The Orioles have gone 29-37. They lost 9 games in the standings to the Yankees. 9 games. And that's why the Yankees come into this game 6 games ahead with 6 games to go. So it's a good bet, Peter, that they'll clinch at some point.
You really do owe the Orioles a little bit more of a debt of gratitude. They really decided to poop the bed for this Yankee team.
They did.
They have laid out.
It's just
they say, you know what, we're good.
It's just amazing. There will not be a team that win 100 games for the first time since 2014. And God, the Mets are battling to try to make the playoffs with 87 wins. If they were in the American League, they would be the first wild card.
Now, let me ask you this. Another quiz. The Yankees look like they'll finish with the best record in the American League. Without looking it up, what's the last time the Yankees had the best record in the American League?
Could it be? Could it be 98?
No.
Okay. Well,
Could
they
not.
definitely had the best record in the American League in 98. They had the best record
in baseball.
I feel like it was fairly recent.
Because they haven't won a ton of division titles in recent vintage. I know they didn't do it in 2000. They limped into the playoffs that year.
And none of these Judge years, they won the division and had a great record?
Nope.
No, they won the division.
They can win the division,
ago.
but this is the AL's best record.
AL's best record, meaning it would have. Okay. Because right about getting to 100 games.
09?
No, close.
Close. Well, it's not 08 because they didn't make the playoffs that year. I don't know. I'm just
2012. Now, ironically enough, the Yankees had 103 wins in 2019. But the Astros had 107.
Wow. And I almost said 19, and I still would have gotten it wrong.
But you know what? It would have been a good thing.
Yeah, you would have been impressed.
Yeah, I would have.
And I didn't do it, and I let you down.
All right, one final thing. Yankees, last time they won the AL East.
Well, that was 2 years ago in 22.
Very good.
Let me ask you an important question.
In what sense?
How do you feel about the team hats being worn on the sidelines with the little string across the brim?
A little string. What are you talking about?
You haven't noticed that?
No.
No.
Oh.
I remember.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Anthony?
Yeah, they've been around for a while. They've made a comeback for a while.
But this year they became the sideline hat. So, like, if you watch an NFL game, the hats that all teams wear, like their main hat, is like it'll have a regular color, a different color brim, and then there's a string.
I thought you were talking about baseball.
And then a string that goes across.
I remember being in high school playing baseball, and some of my hats had
the string.
Yeah,
they brought them back. The string is back.
I didn't notice.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the Pinstripe Report and the String Report brought to you by Samwell Institute
we love string.
for Pain Management. For a pain-free life, visit SamwellPain.com today. Let's take some phone calls. Let's do that. Let's go to Jason in New Jersey. Jason.
Hey, guys. How's it going? Thanks
What's
for
up?
taking my call.
You got it.
I got two questions for you. The first one, in terms of left field going into the playoffs, it seems that Dominguez has not really taken a stranglehold over the position.
Nope.
Which makes sense. A young kid coming in. That first part of it is, do you think that Verdugo and Dominguez are going to split in the playoffs? Do you think they're going to ride one guy going for the playoffs? And the second part is for the bullpen. I think this is the shakiest Yankee bullpen that we've seen in a long time going into the playoffs. Who is someone that you think is going to be an X factor or someone that needs to step up big time for this team to really, really get to where they want to be?
Well, I'll answer the first one first. I think Verdugo is going to play most of the time. I'm not even certain that Dominguez is going to make the roster. I don't see how it fits if he's not going to play a lot. And it's not going to be a platoon because essentially they're both left-handed hitters. Dominguez doesn't hit that well yet from the right side. So to play him against lefties would be kind of foolhardy. You'd be weakening your lineup. Verdugo's a much better left fielder than Dominguez. In the postseason, every out is so important. Every out could actually lead you to the next round or end your season. So I think Verdugo's going to see most of the time, although Boone has said that, Dominguez is going to see considerable time. And the other thing, I think the bullpen's better than you think, Jason. I think you're thinking that because they don't have that titular closer, but I think that Luke Weaver is going to be the closer. And I think he's been great. He's 4 for 4 in saves, and we thank you for the phone call. He's been tremendous. The X factor is Weaver. And also, Jake Cousins coming back. Jake Cousins went to see a doctor and said that the pec injury does not look that bad. There's no damage, and he should be able to get back on the mound and be activated for Game 1 of the ALDS. So I think he's going to be important. I think Ian Hamilton's going to be important. Tommy Kahnle. And don't be surprised, people. Clay Holmes is going to be used during the playoffs. Whether you like it or not, he's going to be used. Let's go to Phil in Rochester. Phil. Phil?
Hi, Phil. Bye, Phil.
Guy, anybody there? We're not putting the call up, I could tell. Phil?
He's gone.
Well, he's gone now.
Yeah.
And so is my Zoom. So take another phone call.
No, all right, fine. I'm going to do something crazy here. Let's see. Let's go to Lisa in Connecticut.
Hi,
Hey, Lisa.
Hi, guys. How are you this afternoon?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Michael, I love you, especially when you do the game.
Thank you.
I'm diehard Yankees. I have not missed one game since spring training.
Okay.
My opinion on Verdugo and Dominguez, absolutely Verdugo is better in left field. There's just no doubt about it.
I agree with you.
Verdugo.
And the other point I want to make is going into the playoffs, Torres has to hustle and not make any mistakes.
Well, I can't promise you the mistakes, but he's been hustling since he was benched. So I think you have to admit that he's been playing very, very well. So, mistakes, sometimes he makes mistakes in the field. You can't legislate against mistakes. You can legislate against hustle. I don't think hustle's been a problem. Peter, you got another call?
Yeah. I'm 1 for 1 so far.
Let's do it.
Let's see. Let's go to Mark in Orlando.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. How are we doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey, before I get to my real question, I just have a rhetorical question. Talk about the string hats. Would the string hat in Green Bay be string cheese?
Oh, I like it.
No, this is really a tough moment for me.
So, my real question is, I think it was like 3 weeks ago, Oswaldo Cabrera got called out in the ninth inning on a time violation,
Right.
which really hurt the rally against the Cardinals. So it got me thinking, there's more consequential situations I wonder if Major League Baseball anticipated, like, for example, a pitcher pitching a perfect game in the eighth inning gets a ball four time violation, or a pitcher pitching a perfect game or no-hitter. The batter now gets called out in strikes, so the pitcher really isn't getting credit for the out, but the out's being counted. Or even worse, something in the playoffs or the World Series. So my thought was, I know the clock has been great in speeding up the game, but my thought is perhaps leave it intact for balls 1, 2, and 3 and strikes 1 and 2. But for strike 3 or ball 4, they just let it go and let the players play it out. Because I think every play should end on a pitched ball. It should be up to athleticism.
Well, I mean, but if you follow the rule, it doesn't become an issue, right? If you pitch, in the time of the clock, 15 or 18 seconds, then it's not an issue. So they want to continue. Well, I mean, I think they realize the consequences. I mean, the biggest fear, Mark, and we thank you for the phone call, is that a World Series ends on a pitch clock violation. I mean, that's everybody's biggest fear. You don't want that to happen, but be better. Know what the clock is. Yeah, that would be terrible. We'd be talking about it for centuries. But it's been a good thing for the sport. It just
Don't break the rule.
Yeah.
I love it. Everybody hates the rule. Well, how about hating the player for breaking the rule?
Let's go to Anthony in the car. Anthony.
Oh, thank God, Michael.
Hey, fellas, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Been better.
Great. Been better, Don. You okay?
Yeah, just
what he's trying to say
I've had a really rough relationship with the callers today. I'm going to get through it.
Anthony, let me tell you something. What he's trying to say is the last 2 calls ruined his life. Do better.
So there's a lot of pressure on you, Ant.
I got to be honest with you. I kind of agree with Don on that one.
Yeah, I feel you. I think we all do.
Snoozers. Anyway, me and my 2 buddies decided this year we were going to do the picks the same way that you guys did, kind of over the fantasy thing, and we decided we were going to do the 6 points.
I love it. Okay.
How's it going?
Perfect 6 this week. So
Feels good.
I went full Michael K, and I sent the Tina Turner Simply the Best video into the group chat.
Wow. I'm sure they were not happy with that.
See, I love how I'm shaping lives, Anthony. I want people to be vindictive. I really do.
You're affecting people, Michael.
I really am. That's all I wanted when I got into this business. Affect people.
We're gonna. I think the quote was, "We're going to touch as many of you as we can." Right?
Yeah. Yeah, and we've been touching a lot. Yeah.
Oh yeah, touching up a storm.
Now, did you mirror Don's picks, Anthony, or you made your own 3?
No, I had Buffalo, Minnesota, and Kansas City.
Nice.
I got to tell you, I
sweat out the Kansas City one, right?
I love 2 of those picks. And guess what? They all worked out. Good job, man.
Yeah, good.
Anthony, check in with
wait, I didn't. I had no, not Kansas City. I'm sorry. I had the Giants.
Yeah, because you listen to me, Ant.
Disgusting pick.
Great pick.
You shouldn't even get the points for it, but congratulations.
You should totally get the points and congratulate yourself. Anthony, you're simply the best. Thank you for the phone call. I want you to know one thing, Don. So you got disgusted by 2 phone calls. And who took those phone calls? Who chose
Peter.
them?
That's why. Did you know? Do we have the audio of what I said or the noise I made when Michael started hitting the button?
You said thank God.
Thank God.
It was bad luck. But what could I have done? You see the options were? You couldn't. Were you looking or no?
No, I was not.
Every description, Anthony, you would agree, they were all in the same ballpark. We got one guy still on hold, Greg, who says his buddy can design a retractable.
Well, let's take that because he's been on hold about 2 hours.
Sure.
Greg in Center Island. Greg?
Go ahead, Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah, this is, you know what? There have been shows that have been done, successful shows.
You know what you got to do?
They never took a phone call.
You know what you got to do in a moment of doubt like this?
What's that?
Yeah.
You know who to go to, Michael.
Richard in Manhattan.
Richard?
Michael, Don, Peter. Peter, this is for you because amongst the 4 of us, I think you can give us the best perspective.
Wow. Okay, this must be about wrestling or hip-hop. Go ahead.
No hip-hop. This just goes far bigger than that. All right. 6 months ago, almost to the day, March 28th through March 31st, Holy Week on the Christian calendar.
That's right.
Black Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Saturday, Easter Sunday.
Yes.
The Yankees went to Houston, and performed a miracle. 4 straight wins in Houston. Never happened before. My question to you, Peter, is this. There is a good chance that the New York Yankees will play Houston this week or next week around the time of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Can the Jewish faith perform the same miracle for the Yankees? The Yankees have never beaten Houston during the playoffs. Can you tell me this can happen?
Well, listen, I would like to speak not only on behalf of the Jewish people, but of the Jewish religion itself, the Talmud, the Torah, all of it, and say I think there's definitely a possibility. The question is, when will this Houston series likely take place, Michael? When would they match up with Houston?
It could be in the ALDS, but they could avoid that. It'd probably be in the ALCS, which would not be next weekend.
It would be the following. So the ALDS would be a Rosh Hashanah vehicle. The ALCS, a week later, would be the Yom Kippur vehicle. I'm going to talk to the powers that be, Richard, and see if I can get the Jewish faith to do this for you.
Thank you,
All
Richard.
right. Always a pleasure, fellas. Thank you. Guys.
Are we going to play that every time now?
It's better than the call.
Because we played it at the beginning of the call, and we didn't hear if he did it again.
Well, no,
we're getting drop happy again. I thought we got over that.
That was me doing it. I was hoping I could hear both back. I wanted to hear a fake one into a real one, okay? Can I have one day to have fun? It's okay. The baseball playoffs will be here soon. Everyone relax. And don't forget this, too, Michael.
No hip-hop.
He said it's bigger than that.
It's bigger than... Well, he went full God, Don.
Do you think that he has a producer that tells him what topics to hit with each show that he calls?
But why did he think, listen, I appreciate Richard including me, because, normally it would be like, hey, Michael, I just want to find out, what's Connie Mack's birthday? I appreciate it included me. But how can I tell him whether or not it's possible that there could be
I think he was trying to be impish.
Yeah.
He's trying to be cute, and I appreciate it.
No offense to Richard, but it's just fact. He didn't care what you said.
Yeah, you could have went, and he would, thanks.
That's a great point. He doesn't know what I'm actually saying.
Now, Peter, I'll give you 5 crisp $1 bills.
Wow.
If you could tell me Connie Mack's real name.
Well, that would mean it's not...
That means it's not Connie Mack.
Well, right, but I'm trying to guess how close. Wait, first and last name, or is the last name
Mack? First and last name are different.
Well, I'm going to go with Konstantin Mackey.
It's not a bad guess.
I mean, come on. What am I going to do, Don?
It's Cornelius McGillicuddy.
Is it really McGillicuddy?
I would have gone with that.
I was today years old when I found out that Connie Mack is a made-up person who does not exist.
He does exist.
No, Cornelius McGillicuddy is an old-timey baseball name.
Well, yeah, he's an old-timey baseball guy.
Yeah, no, but this can't be. It's too far. It's like when I try to talk about old-time basketball when Jews still played, and I refer to the great point guard Pippi Schwartz. I'm making it up. That's what Cornelius McGillicuddy is. That can't be real.
It's
like
real, and it's spectacular.
Wow.
Hey,
That's
looking
amazing.
for luxury at an unbeatable price? Hello, everybody. It's Michael, Don, and Peter. We lead you right into a big Met game on 880 ESPN. We've got the Mets against the Braves from Atlanta. The next 2 games of that series. Anybody's guess when they will be played?
Yeah, I would say the educated guess is going to be Monday. I don't see. It was like 99% chance of rain tomorrow, 100% on Thursday. Like Thursday's done.
So 99% tomorrow. So you're saying there's a chance?
There's no chance, Mike.
1% is a chance.
I don't think they're going to be playing beyond today. Wow. And it just changes everything if the Mets win it. I think it puts all kinds of pressure on the Braves for sure.
If the Mets win tonight.
Yeah, because now you get to now the Braves aren't going to be able to play the next 2 until Monday. So they don't have any control of the Mets. Mets can go to Milwaukee and sweep, and then they're done. So that's the way I got to look at it if you're a Mets fan, is that, if you're worried about the Braves, the jinx of the Braves, never getting past the Braves, well, we'll find a way to win tonight. Heck, even if you lose tonight, If you go and take care of business in Milwaukee, Michael, at least you put yourself in a position that the best you can do or the worst you could be is tied going into Monday. So the Braves can affect things. Right now, it looks like only tonight. And then it's up for grabs what happens. They got to play Kansas City, and Kansas City's going to be desperate. They've lost 7 in a row. They need those games to be able to hold off the Minnesota Twins and make the playoffs. So I think this is a good thing. Only if the Mets could win. They really would put the pressure on the Braves, and at least from their perspective, make Monday meaningless.
Let's go to Matt in Long Island City. Matt.
Hey, guys. I hope this question isn't too meta, but the reason I like the show is you guys aren't afraid to go deep, so I'm going to go with it.
All right.
Why do you think all the older Yankees fans, kind of without fail, have to lead with how long they've been a Yankee fan?
I've asked this many times. I have no idea.
Do you have a theory, Matt?
What's the psychology behind it? Because, go ahead, sorry.
Do you have a theory?
I don't. I guess it maybe gives them like a badge of honor. Like if they say how long they've been watching for, it gives them more credence, that their point makes more sense, or that they're allowed to ask whatever a name question they're going to ask about why doesn't Gleyber Torres play like Tony Lazzari? I don't know. But I was just because you think if they listen to the show, they'd be in on the joke that
But
they're not. It's weird. You're right.
But this is now you're understanding why Yankee talk can send me through the roof.
This is why this show is so unique.
It's a nice word.
In a positive or negative way, is that I believe that those callers, my theory is they're trying to impress Michael. Because Michael's the Yankee expert. He's the savant. He calls their games. He's been a Yankee fan his whole life, got to do Yankee games for 30-plus years. So they don't have to worry about impressing me or Michael. I'm a Met fan. Peter didn't even grow up in this area. So, hey, Michael, I've been a Yankee fan since 1946. So, hey, now we're measuring, and I'm with you. Because I've been around longer than you. I really think it's trying to impress you. I think that there are a lot of Yankee fans that just want to talk to you about the Yankees, and that's their way of kind of getting in to, they believe, into the inner circle of Yankeedom because they've been a fan for so long.
I think that's a little too meta, as Matt would say, and thank you, Matt, for the call, but I think what it comes down to is they just want to legitimize themselves, that they have the right to make these points because they've been a fan for so long, but I just don't get it because we don't get it. The Knicks started in 1947. Nobody says, I've been a Knicks fan since 1951.
Because I think they're trying to impress this upon you. Like, you're the Yankee fan, but, Michael, hear me out. I've been a fan since 1945, so I might not call Yankee games, but I've been around a lot longer than you, because you're right. We don't hear that from the Rangers, the Giants, the Knicks, all been around forever, because there isn't anybody to impress, because no one is an expert on a specific team the way you are on the Yankees. So they're really trying to convince you, hey, let me into your inner circle. I've been around a long time.
But you know what? You're all in. You don't need to do it. You're in,
I don't think you have to know or, have been a fan forever to be an expert. You can be a fan forever and not know anything. You can be a fan for 10 years and be an expert.
Let's go to Frank in Center Reach. Frank.
What's up, Frank?
What's up, guys? Michael, Don, Peter, how you doing?
Great. You?
Well, I'm doing all right.
Good.
Same stuff, different day. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Yeah, definitely. So, I just have a question really about the state of baseball as a whole. It's a lot closer this year than I can remember. With the top team in the league only being 11 games ahead of the 12th team in the league, as opposed to even just last year where the difference between the top and 11th or 12th team was 20 games. So almost 10 games closer this year. And not one team is going to win over 100 games this year. Last year, the fourth most wins in baseball was the Tampa Bay Rays with 99 wins. That's going to be more than anybody wins this year.
Yeah, and I looked it up. 2014, the team with the best record finished with 98 wins. The Dodgers would have to win 5 of their last 6 to get to 98. It's to have that few. Then in 2013, the most was 97. So I think that's really brought it to where is there really truly a great team, Michael? I mean, if the Dodgers finish with the best record with like 96 wins, that's That's not really comparable to some seasons. That's kind of odd that win total might be enough to be the best team in baseball.
Well, I'll tell you what, Major League Baseball is probably, reveling in this. That's what they want. That's what every sport wants. They want parity. They want everybody with a chance to win. And that's what's happening in baseball.
Yeah,
I don't know why it happened in 1 year.
Here's the thing, Michael. Is it too far to say that every team has a chance? Not an equal chance, but is there a team that you would say has no chance of winning the World Series that's going to make the playoffs?
If the 2 wild cards come out of the Central, I don't think those teams have a chance. Like Detroit, Kansas City, Minnesota. I don't think they have a chance to win.
So that's just 2 of 12. So you're saying that of 12 teams making the playoffs, there's legitimately 10 that can win the World Series.
Yeah, what team would you eliminate in the National League?
I don't think I
the
would.
Padres have a chance. I think the Diamondbacks. I think the Mets. I think obviously the Phillies and the Dodgers. And you can say Milwaukee probably doesn't, but they've surprised a lot of people. They're a good team.
Well, they won their division, but they also won their division with 89 wins. It's they still have 6 games left to go. But it's hard to have that conversation and not really take down the significance of the regular season. Because if you're saying that 10 of the 12 teams can win the World Series, then that means you don't have to win your division. You don't have to have the best record. You don't have to be that great, but just make it. And you have a chance. And I guess going into these playoffs, Major League Baseball's got to be excited.
Tim in Brooklyn. Tim.
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call.
What's up?
You got it.
I didn't expect the call. I didn't expect the call in, but it's always when either Peter says something crazy or Don kind of makes a dismissive comment about Yankee fans. I'm not going to be rude, but I wanted to get a point across about Yankee fans saying how long they've been a fan. It's not about trying to get street cred or trying to get in the club with Michael. It's trying to just give you an understanding of who we are. I've called many times before, but I've never said that I've been a fan since 77. But if somebody did say that, then I automatically know, listening to him, that he's seen 2 great years, or more than 2 great years, the loss in 81, but he's been there for 77 and 78. But he lived through the trash years of the 80s and Dave Winfield and how wonderful it was for the comeback in the late 90s on through 2000.
But Tim,
and now we're going through a little bit of a drought again.
But Tim, the Rangers have been around since 25. The Knicks since 47. Right, so the Giants since 1925. So why exactly would it just be Yankees when there's 3 other teams in the market they've had droughts that go back 100 years and that have had droughts?
Big droughts.
Yeah, I'm not doubting that other fans do things differently. I'm just saying specifically to Yankee fans, that's kind of how they identify themselves, right?
To Michael.
It's like when you get on a train, when you get on a subway platform, right, and it's crowded, you don't want to talk to the guy that's been sitting on the platform for 2 minutes. You want to talk to the guy that's been on the platform for an hour. He knows the train's not coming, and the one that did come, Tim, was packed.
You're making perfect sense. But you're also not acknowledging the Rangers since 26, the Giants since 25, the Knicks since 47. They've been around a long time. They've had long droughts. Michael, the Knicks were a huge storyline. How many times did somebody, I've been a Knicks fan since 1956? No.
Does it go on in other shows on our station, like when they call up DNR? Do they say I'm a Yankee fan since?
That's a big test.
I don't. In the times I've heard it, no. I don't sense that. Because, again, I'm not disrespecting Yankee fans. I just think you have the Yankee announcer. What other show in this country, but even in New York, has somebody that's that closely affiliated to a team the way Michael is to the Yankees?
Well, Alan with the Knicks and you with the Rangers.
Yeah, but I'm not Michael. I haven't doing every Ranger game for 30 years. I'm not Sam Rosen. You're Sam Rosen. You're Bob Papa. If Bob Papa did a show, maybe they would call and say, I've been a Giant fan since 1936. But I really think it's just to try to express to you that they seem to be in your territory. They remember a lot of stuff. Because, again, it'd be a perfect example to use any of those other teams that I mentioned, and it's just not a thing. And I don't think it's a thing on any other show.
Don, why don't you tell us about BetMGM being a thing?
Well, baseball fans, BetMGM is giving you a chance to win a prize every
Welcome back to the show, everybody. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to Chris in Wantagh. Chris.
Hey guys. Just wanted to give you guys the Mets perspective. I'll just keep it a buck. Listen, Yankee fans just are Yankee fans. They think they're better than you. And once, you establish how long you've done it for, it makes you feel like you're better. All year, I've had my Yankee cousins and uncles reach out to me every time the Mets were going through a slump, this or that. Only time I ever reached out to them was the Subway Series. So it's just the way Yankee fans are. And the moment one fan said I was a Yankee fan since 1980, a Yankee fan since 1975, I was like, oh, I'll show him. And then a trend started, and then the radio started. It's just a Yankee fan way. As a Knicks fan, I started doing it a little bit to the Nets, but that's not the same. It's just how it is.
How long have you been a Met fan?
My whole life, but I don't need to tell you that. That's just like all my other teams. I'm a real fan. I don't need to gloat to other people, but Yankee fans, it's just in their character.
It is a strange thing. I root for a couple teams with historical greatness, and I never feel the need to say I've been a Celtics fan since 1987. I don't.
But
I've been a Yankees fan since 1986.
But if you called into a show that Sonny Jurgensen was the host, maybe you'd want to impress him by how long you've been a Commanders fan.
Even though it would be not as long as he's been around. Never saw you play, Sonny. But it's just weird. It's a thing. It's a thing.
Let's go to Kevin and Brick. Kevin.
Hi.
Kev.
Oh, hi.
Well, join the show, babe.
You'd want to impress.
Oh, no. He was close.
I got to go.
Let's go to Sean in North Carolina.
Hey, guys. What's going on? Love the show.
Thanks, man. What's up?
Don, just out for some exercise. Don, I do love the game like you do. I miss that drop. It's gone away. That was my favorite drop of all time.
Is it up there anymore?
I have it. I don't play it that often. It is.
I haven't heard it in a long time.
I'll find it for you, okay?
I was calling in to redeem Yankee fans. I think the difference is, I think Yankee Giant fans are the annoying ones. I'm a Yankee Jet fan. And I'm not depressed about the team. I'm excited. I get why Clay Holmes is out there pitching. Aaron Boone's trying to figure it out. Where is he going to fit into the playoffs? You're not giving up on somebody with a 96-mile-an-hour sinker. Sorry. They're going to find an avenue for him to pitch. I feel better about this Yankee team than I have about the last few. Obviously, way better than last year. But I don't get the negativity. I guess it comes from me being for being a Jets fan, just living in depression, but I feel good about it. I'm excited.
And, Sean, it also has to do with...
I wish you loved the sport like I do.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey, I was going to ask you guys a question. Mm-hmm. My girlfriend's a Met fan, and we've been watching the Met games. I've been watching the Yankee games on my iPad because right now the Mets are taking priority, so... She bought me a Yankee jersey for my birthday.
Okay.
Name on the back. Name on the back.
Throw it out.
She's a Met fan. I said I had to dump her. Come on. You can't buy me that. You know, you're a baseball fan.
Well, that's a little aggressive. I just don't wear the jersey.
Unless you're just looking for an excuse.
Yeah, I think
if you truly love her,
I think you say thanks. I think you say thanks, babe.
Yeah, and then you never wear it.
Thanks and sell it on eBay. Yeah, I got you all.
Wait. Hold on. It's important though. What's the number and name on the back?
Yeah,
that is important. What is it?
99 Judge.
Disgraceful. Disgraceful.
It is so I wonder who 99 is.
Well, what would have been better?
What if they trade Judge? What do I do?
What would have made it better though? I asked the question. Thank you, Sean. When I asked him the question though, you said, "Yeah, what is the answer?" And then when I said 99 Judge, you guys went, "Ugh, disgusting." Is there anything he could have said that would have been less disgusting?
Well, I think any name isn't right, but I get 99 Judge, to me, is like 3 Ruth.
Yeah,
4 Gehrig. I mean, everybody knows who 99 is on the Yankees. Now, there are other numbers like 24 and 22 that other people have worn. Nobody's worn 99.
What about a Posada jersey? It said Posada on the back.
No. Bucky Dent was number 20.
That's one of the core 4.
No, so you're saying? So wait, no, meaning you couldn't. You'd make you sick?
Yeah, it would make me sick.
Even though you just said 2 players both had the number.
Well,
Mine just has 20 on the back.
But you know what? Then you represent both of them.
Well, I got news for you then. If that means there's none that would be okay.
Well, I mean, I guess Soto, just because maybe Soto's going to be gone and somebody else will wear that number, and you can say, well, at least I can reminisce about the great 24 season. Again, I still think it's egregious, but there are levels. Judge 99, like you need to be reminded. It's very redundant, isn't it?
This is like why it's almost as if this whole cool thing of not having names on the back, it's almost terrible. It's like it ruins it now. But because everyone gets it wrong. I look at guys. I pay attention. No, it's half the stadium. It's not a small percentage.
I know because there's
it's
a lot of
gigantic
because they don't get
number.
It. They think they get it, but they don't.
But they can't be that they all don't get it.
No, a lot of people don't get it.
Nobody seeing me walk around the stadium is going to assume that my 20 jersey is a Bucky Dent jersey.
Right,
that is true.
Based on the age, based on the age of the person.
But the thing about 99 is it's one of if not the best players in baseball. He's going to end up being one of the great Yankees of all time, and no one's ever worn 99.
That's the real issue.
Hey, we have to say goodbye to they have a big batting practice show, then the pregame show, but we'll continue right here on 880. Also, Don, I looked something up for you.